Socrates, Greek philosopher, 470 BCE to 399 BCE. Biography. Who was Socrates? Socrates was an ancient Greek philosopher and scholar from Athens and a founding figure in the history of Western philosophy. Though he left no written works behind, the philosophy of Socrates influenced thinkers, including Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. and Benjamin Franklin, for centuries after his death in 399 BCE. His most notable teachings were the Socratic method, which promoted critical thinking through question-and-answer debates between students and teachers. Early life. Socrates was born in Athens, Greece, and lived most of his life in the capital city. According to accounts, he lived in modest wealth with his father, Socrates, a stonemason and sculptor, and his mother, Theanor, a midwife. Education. Socrates has long been considered the father of modern education. He believed that as self-learners we must first admit to our ignorance and realize that there is a world of knowledge ready to be accessed, but only once we can accept that we don't already know everything. We must also accept that what we do and know might not be as correct as we think. The Socratic method encourages students to ask questions, think critically and come to their own conclusions. Interests. Education and philosophy were among the philosopher's early interests. Plato, one of Socrates' students, wrote that Socrates studied the writings of the Greek philosopher Anaxagoras, a notable natural philosopher and scientist, as a young man. Socrates is also thought to have studied rhetoric under Aristotle, the famed teacher and partner of Pericles, an Athenian statesman and general. Personal life. Socrates may have worked as a stonemason before launching his career as a teacher and philosopher. Accounts vary as to whether he received money for his educational efforts, but Plato claimed that he lived in poverty. His financial status ultimately hurt his marriage to his wife Ia, a younger woman named Xanthippe, with whom he had 3 sons, Lampricles, Sophroniskes, and Menexenus. Socrates claimed to have little involvement with his sons and focused instead on the young men he taught. Military participation. Laws in ancient Athens required all men between the ages of 18 and 60 to serve in the military. Socrates served in the armored infantry as a hoplite, or foot soldier, in 3 campaigns during the Peloponnesian War, including the battles of Delium and Amphipolis and the siege of Potidaea, where he reportedly saved the life of future Athenian politician Alcibiades. Career. Following his military service, Socrates drew the attention of his fellow citizens of Athens as a member of the Boule, a citizens' council that oversaw the city's legal and administrative issues. His opposition to capital punishment in 2 high-profile cases earned him a following among the youth of Athens, who admired his self-described status as a gadflia, a person who persistently critiques the status quo. The philosopher, who often challenged and debated long-standing tenets of Greek philosophy and life, had many critics. The Clouds, a 423 BCE play from Aristophanes, portrayed Socrates as a sloppy con man who used dialectic discussions to get out of debt. Trial and death. Socrates died during a turbulent period in Athenian democracy when a conquering army from Sparta replaced the government with an oligarchic group called the 30 Tyrants. A poet named Meletus charged Socrates with impiety, or lack of religious reverence, and corrupting the youth of Athens. Socrates served as his own defense at the trial, which lasted a day before he was found guilty. According to some accounts, he offered a portion of his assets, but his accusers, including the powerful politician Aristotle, demanded the death penalty. Socrates was sentenced to death by hemlock poisoning, and the court carried out his execution shortly after.